Hi, my name is Christian Thompson, and the following clip is my video presentation on the EM spectrum. Now, you may be wondering why I'm making this at night, and that might be because I procrastinated a little on the weekend and forgot to make this video, so I hope you enjoy. The EM spectrum, or more formally known as the electromagnetic spectrum, is the spectrum, or let's think of it as a graph, of all of the electromagnetic waves that we can observe. There might be more, there might be less. It starts from radio waves and goes all the way to gamma rays. The entire spectrum includes radio waves, microwaves, infrared light, visible light. After that, it's ultraviolet light, X-rays, and then gamma rays. The EM spectrum goes from left to right in terms of energy level and type of wave, as long as wavelength. So radio waves, for example, would have the highest wavelength but the lowest energy, and gamma rays, which are at the other end of the EM spectrum, would have the lowest wavelength but the highest energy. The EM spectrum was created by William Herschel in the 1800s when he discovered infrared radiation. We now use the EM spectrum and electromagnetic waves in general to see other celestial bodies in space, and we also use it to transmit data. Radio waves, for example, you've probably heard of a radio. Well, radio waves are sent to other devices to transmit data through the waves and frequency of waves. That's how a radio works, and it actually works with our phones too. Microwaves also transmit data, and when you think microwave, you may think the thing that cooks your food, but little do you know, some cell towers actually emit microwaves because of their slightly higher wavelength. They're able to transport more data. So that's how wireless technology works, is through radio waves and microwaves, which can also be found on the electromagnetic spectrum. And you may have even heard of infrared too, which is what our TV remotes use. So those three, I take that back, those three types of waves can transmit data. And I take that back again, because number 4, visible light, can also transmit data through optical cables. We can use the electromagnetic spectrum to observe other parts of space as well, including other celestial bodies like neutron stars, which only emit high frequency X-rays, which fall just below gamma rays. Now, another thing about the EM spectrum is redshift and blueshift, and I actually think this is kind of cool. So when observing space, we can use a spectrograph to measure redshift or blueshift. Redshift is when an object is moving away from us and the wave is actually elongated, moving towards the red spectrum of the visible light spectrum, which obviously is the rainbow. It goes from red to blue. So when the wave is elongated, because it goes in order from wavelength or energy, it shifts to the red side of the spectrum, and we see it as red. But when something is moving towards us, the wave is compressed. So we actually see it on the blue end of the spectrum. Now, the redshift and blueshift is really important because we mostly see redshift in the universe, which proves the theory of expansion. The universe is constantly expanding and things are always moving away from us. Electromagnetic waves or radiation consist of a boson particle called a photon. The energy of a photon determines the type of wave it is as seen on the spectrum. A photon, which is a type of boson, falls under the Cortana just activated for no reason. Cortana, I am making a video. Please stop. The photon is a type of boson, and a boson is one of the 3 elementary particles. These are particles include leptons, bosons, and quarks. In short, the EM spectrum is used to measure different electromagnetic radiation or types such as radio waves and gamma rays and microwaves, and also gives us a visual representation of the wavelength and their energy. The electromagnetic spectrum can also be used to observe space and can help us better understand how we can use the electromagnetic spectrum to our advantage.